I would like to share two thoughts related to the questions derived from today's Gospel reading. The first question: what does the passage "God so loved the world that he gave his only Son" imply about the nature and depth of God's love for humanity? This deeply moving phrase, "God so loved the world that he gave his only Son," speaks volumes about the profound and incomparable love God harbors for all of humanity. It implies that God's love isn't just immense, but selfless and sacrificial. The giving of his only Son represents the ultimate act of love, a willingness to sacrifice that which is most precious for the sake of others. It indicates that God's love for us is not simply an abstract or passive sentiment. Instead, it is active, deliberate, and transformative. It leads God not just to feel for us, but to act on our behalf, even when that action involves tremendous sacrifice. Moreover, it underscores the fact that God's love extends to the entirety of the world, all people, across all of time and space. God's love isn't selective or conditional, it's universal and unconditional. He loves us not because we have earned or deserved his love, but simply because that is his nature, to love without limit or measure. Finally, this phrase also serves to set a model for humanity. If God, in his greatness, can express such profound love through self-sacrifice, so too are we, in our own ways, called to love selflessly and sacrificially. As God gave his only Son out of love for the world, we are encouraged to give of ourselves in love for one another. Each of us is included in the phrase "the world." God's profound, sacrificial love is extended to each of us, personally and individually. We are all the beloved recipients of this divine love, a love that calls us not just to receive, but also to give, to sacrifice, and to love just as deeply and selflessly in return. The second question: what insights does this reading provide on the Christian concept of salvation and eternal life? How might these ideas influence a believer's life and choices? Firstly, it emphasizes that salvation is a gift from God, given out of his immeasurable love for us. It's a gift provided through the sacrifice of his only Son, underscoring the depth of God's commitment to our redemption. In Christianity, salvation isn't something we can achieve through our own efforts alone, it's a grace bestowed upon us through the selfless act of Christ. Secondly, it establishes belief in Jesus Christ as the cornerstone of salvation. Those who believe in him, according to the reading, might not perish but might have eternal life. This implies that faith is not a passive acknowledgement but an active, transformative force that has the power to shape our destiny. Thirdly, the passage speaks about eternal life as the ultimate promise to those who believe in Jesus Christ. Eternal life is not simply an unending existence but an everlasting communion with God, marked by love, peace, and joy that transcends earthly understanding. These insights have significant implications for a believer's life and choices. The knowledge of God's boundless love should inspire gratitude, humility, and a desire to reciprocate that love to God and to others. The understanding that salvation comes through faith in Jesus should prompt believers to seek a deeper, more personal relationship with him, marked by trust, devotion, and obedience to his teachings. Moreover, the promise of eternal life should provide believers with hope and consolation, especially in times of suffering or despair. It encourages them to view their lives from an eternal perspective, where the trials of this world are temporary, while the rewards of the next are everlasting. Consequently, it can inspire believers to live righteously, with courage and perseverance, regardless of the challenges they face. The promise of salvation and eternal life is not just a distant future reality but a transformative truth that can deeply influence our lives here and now. By embracing this promise, We're called to live a life of faith, love, and hope, constantly striving to reflect the love of God who has given so much for our redemption.